So welcome, and I really thank you very much for your interest in brick math. This program teaches math using Lego bricks. One line, simple to understand. It is a very fun and a very effective way for kids to learn math. What I'd like to do in the next few minutes, show you a very short video, show you the materials that are involved with the brick math program, and demonstrate a quick lesson. And then I'll open it up for questions. So let me share my screen. And I'll show you a video that's about 1 minute and 15 seconds, I think. Here we go.
For many students, learning math can be, well, frustrating. Hands-on learning has long been proven to be the most meaningful way for students to learn something new. They learn to ski by getting on the slopes, to drive by getting on the road, and to cook by getting in the kitchen. But wouldn't it be great if students had a hands-on method of learning something as valuable as math? Now they do. Brick Math is here to help elementary students learn math using one of their favorite toys, Lego bricks. Brick Math covers all the math content areas from kindergarten through 6th grade, 11 in total, including counting and cardinality, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, basic fractions, fraction multiplication, fraction division, basic measurement, advanced measurement and geometry, and decimals. Author and Professor Shirley Disler is a math education specialist and curriculum developer using Lego bricks. With the hands-on methods of brick math, students now have the opportunity to learn math in a clear and understandable way, without all the frustration. And with Legos, there's sure to be a lot of fun in the process.
So that's our quickie introduction. It gives you an idea of what the program's all about. It also mentions all of the subjects. There's 11 subjects that are covered by brick math. And they sort of start with counting and they go through to advanced measurement and decimals. I think you can tell by that video that brick math really, really works well for kids who are visual learners, kids who are tactile learners. Kids get really engaged with the learning when they're working with the Lego bricks to model the math. Let me show you the materials that are involved for brick math. They're quite simple. As I said, there's 11 subjects. They're typically the subjects that kids cover kind of ages 5 to 12, grades kindergarten through 6. That's the extent of the program thus far. For each subject, the yellow books are the teacher books. The student books are the green books, and there's a book for each subject. The teacher edition is the lesson book. It's the book that you'll use. It has complete lesson plans to follow. It starts at the beginning of the subject and takes the student all the way through it. The students use the green books to draw the models after they've built the models, to answer questions, to answer questions in writing, to do chapter assessments. So that's what the student books are for. There's another component, the brick set. There's 250 bricks in the brick set. It's in this plastic divided box. And there are base plates to build the models on, 2 base plates. And that's all of the components of the program. It's a modular program, which means you can start it at any point. So if both of you have kids that sound like they're sort of 8, 9 years old. So they've probably completed addition, subtraction, obviously counting. Maybe they're ready for multiplication, or maybe they've already gone into multiplication, division, basic fractions. You can start in anywhere with the program. And it also works really well if your child's having trouble understanding something. It's a different way to learn than they probably have been learning in the past, and probably any other math program that you've used. And because it's a different way to learn, if they're having trouble with a particular subject, they really are able to it's a great way to help them through when they're having trouble. People have told us over and over, fractions in particular seems to be something that's really can be very tough for kids to understand. And when they do the modeling with the Lego bricks, they just get it. The kids say, I see it. I see the math. Let me try a sample lesson real quickly, just to show you what a sample lesson would be like. I chose one out of the multiplication book, and it's chapter 2, and it's about set models. And I hope you can see that. It's a very simple, it's the kind of the foundation of multiplication being repeated addition. And what this gives you as the person teaching it, gives you vocabulary. It tells you why it's important to learn it, and then goes right into, we'll go right into this first one. And the first problem in this chapter is about modeling 4 sets of 6. And you'll see that there's a diagram, there's a picture of exactly what it is you're going to be building, and your student's going to be building right along with you to teach this concept that multiplication can be 4 sets of 6, that this is the problem that you're working on. So what you're going to do is you're going to work through it. You're going to build this model right along with your student. And I've built the whole thing, and there's the last one that goes in. And here's your model, just like it looked in the book, 4 sets of 6 in each set. And the book, and the instructions in the lesson are explain how you would write it. 4 times 6, that's the math sentence. Have your student do what's called one-to-one correspondence by touching each brick and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, all the way to 24, for them to learn 4 times 6 equals 24. That's sort of the essence of how it works. And then in this chapter, then there's another problem you'd work through with your student, also building, your student's building on their own base plate. They're building the same thing and working along with you. And then after you've done a couple of them, then the student does one, and you check to see how they're doing, and so on. On our website, which is brickmath.com, there are a lot of videos, and most of them are actually by the author demonstrating how to teach lessons. So there you have a lot of resources to go to understand how these lessons work. You can watch them. You can watch them by yourself. You can watch them with your student. Your student will get a lot out of it too. And that'll really help you be able to teach this very, very effectively. It's simple. It's fun. We love to say it's easy to teach and it's easy to learn. And it's because it's a method that makes sense to kids, makes sense to parents who are teaching it as well. So that's what I wanted to cover today. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Anybody? You want to unmute yourselves?
So it's Christina.
Okay, great.
Excuse my baby in the background if she screams.
Don't worry, it's expected. Don't worry.
So like I was saying earlier, this is my first year kind of trying to figure out a curriculum on my own. So I'm coming off of using curriculums that are already put together for me. And you said this is modules. So how would I even know where to start?
Well, it depends on what your child has mastered up till this point.
Okay.
And, you said 9 years old?
Yeah. So you just kind of grab the baseline that you ended on and then continue on from there and buy the module for the subject that he needs.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Typically the sort of 3rd, 4th grade level are multiplication, division, basic fractions, and some of basic measurement. Those are typically what's covered. But the beauty of it is it depends on what your child's doing. And if your child has not yet mastered, everything in addition and subtraction, which could be the case, go back to them. Or if they've already mastered you know, multiplication and division and you're working on fractions, move along. There's the next step up would be fraction multiplication and fraction division. So if they've mastered it, you can move ahead. So it really depends just where your child is.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Jaylene, anything? You want to know about the price? I didn't mention that at all.
No, I put in the chat that I was just wondering
Oh.
What the website was for Brick Math.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the chat. I see you have
That's
that.
okay.
The chat is brickmath.com. BRICKMATH.com.
All right. Yeah, it'd
And-
be nice to see the video presentations of like, you know, working through one part of it or what it's like.
I think you'd love it. I think you'd really just pick any of them. There's 1 minute ones that are really, you know, that she does very, very quickly. There's ones that are longer where she's really trying to show a whole lesson. I didn't want to get into one thing that happens in those videos is like you sort of watch, you watch her like putting the bricks on. And I just don't want to waste the time with that today. You understand how to put bricks on a you know, base plate, but I just don't want to waste time with it. But you'll watch her do them and the kinds of things that are said, and they all correspond to lessons in the books. So you know, after you watch one and you'll see, you know, how the author teaches this stuff, and she teaches it all the time. The author is a professor at High Point University in North Carolina, and she works primarily with students who are learning to be teachers. And she actually has taught this method to a lot of her students who then pick it up and use it when they get jobs. But she also goes in frequently to school groups and works with students. And she also has her own sort of business where kids come for sort of after school, or they're kids who are homeschooled and they come for extra programs. So she works directly with students all the time. And you'll see that the way she teaches the lessons are very clear. That's Stephanie.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to see one from beginning to end, and I think that'll really help. I'll check that out. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
It's just brickmath.com. And
Okay.
and just go to there's a right up, you know, go to the homepage, there's a video page, and you can select any of those videos. And some of them are really directed for kids. There's like Brick Math with Dr. D, and those are kind of directed at a child. But the others are others you'll see as you scroll down the page are more directed toward a parent or a teacher and teaching them how to teach the program.